Assalamualaikum and good evening everyone. So today we are going to have a discussion. Good evening. Sorry. Oh my god. We are going to have a discussion.
We don't have to rush.
About ways to solve climate change, which is an alarming issue that is going on now. So
yes.
Does anyone want to start first?
I would like to be the first speaker.
Okay.
Okay. I have a point I would like to make. The first one is hang to dry. We need to hang to dry. What does it mean? So, I'll straightly give an example. For example, myself. I'll always wash my clothes using the washing machine. Then I will go to the coin-operated laundry and I'll dry it there because it's easier. However, the dryer, the machine itself, it produces greenhouse gas. Where this greenhouse gas is actually the main reason why the climate changes.
Yes.
So, what you can do is we can hang our clothes indoor or outdoor. For example, outdoor, you'll get direct sunlight and will dry your clothes completely. However, for indoor, you can also dry it on a drying rack. Okay? So, as you can see, by not using the dryer, you can save money and also it will save you from contributing to climate change. Do you guys agree with me?
Yes. Do you mean that if we reduce the consumption of electrical energy, we can reduce the impact of climate change? Is that what you mean?
That too also. We can reduce the electrical and also reduce the gas.
Okay. So Fakhree, would you like to talk next?
I just want to add a little bit about what she has said. Just now she said about reducing the gas. So other things that you can do in order to reduce the gas emission that can affect the climate change is actually by reducing the drivers that we have in our in the public. So what we're gonna do is reduce it by maybe we ourselves as Malaysians, we can use the public transport and we do not use our own vehicles. Also, the public transport may reduce the gas anything, but we have the filtering system there, so it is good to filter the gas and emit the gas that is not going to contribute to the climatic changes. So that is all that I know. If you guys have anything to say with what I just said,
thank you, Fakhree. So now, I think that another ways, for my opinion, is education have a role in solve climate change. So my point is we have to educate our future generations.
Yes.
So by educating our children, it will make our children become more responsible to appreciate our environment. So how we can teach our child or the future nowadays generation by school, by parenting, and also we can be a good example for them. So another way also we can give them responsibility, such as remind them to switch off their lights before going to bed, and we can also reward them by doing that habit. So I think that education is very important, have a role to solve climate change.
In my opinion, I think that one of the most important solution that we can do is by applying 3R. What is 3R? Reuse, reduce, and recycle. When we do 3R, we will have the proper dispose for our waste, so that the bad gases emission will be reduced, or we can control it. So it is under our control. So we can know the probability or the amount of gas that emitted. I think that by using 3R is very good. What do you guys think?
I think it's
I
good.
agree.
I agree with you.
You have a good point.
Yes, true.
Okay. I want to add something. My opinion is way to solve climate change is to have an infrastructure upgrade. Do you guys know that the buildings actually contribute about 1/3 of the greenhouse gases emission worldwide? Which means that if we can improve our building infrastructure, we can reduce 1/3 of the greenhouse gases emission in the world. So how can we upgrade our infrastructure? One of the ways is to improve the cement making industry, because when you make cement for the buildings, they produce lots of greenhouse gases like you guys mentioned earlier. So if we use the latest technology, if we can find other ways, other alternatives rather than to use cement in our building, it can really have an impact to reduce the harmful gases, because we all agree that the greenhouse gases can lead to global warming, which is the main impact of climate change.
I agree with you, because sometimes I can see that if we build a building with a low carbon constituent in the wall of the building, it actually can reduce the climate change, because as we know, the gas emission is actually the carbon dioxide. So there is something happen between in the building when the light pass through the building. It's like there will be a not burning, but they increase the temperature, or we say the global warming. It's actually because of the carbon. They absorb the heat really bad until we can feel really hot, even though we are in the building. Okay, so
okay, so just now, Fakhree and Ali's point, your point is basically on changing the infrastructure of the building, right? So as we know that it might cost some money, right? It's quite expensive to do stuff. So I would like to share a new point where it uses less money, where we have, as for example, we need to have a working place that is near to our house. Why is that so? This is because we can reduce the distance of traveling. For example, if it's very far, you need to get used by transportation. Like what you said, transportation will produce carbon gas, right? So another way to reduce the money and also to reduce the greenhouse gas, is we can walk and we can also cycle to work, which is it doesn't use a lot of money, and it makes you exercise, which is quite good for Malaysian, because we are very lazy. So we need to move to a closer place to the working place, and then we use our own energy to go to the place.
Hanum is right about the saving money part, because one of the ways to reduce the impact of climate change, to have a solution for this problem, is to reduce the electrical energy consumption. One of the ways is to unplug the electrical appliances whenever you guys do not use it. Even if you switch off the electrical appliances, the studies have shown that it actually uses more electrical energy.
How is that?
Because you do not unplug, the plug is still attached to the power source. So there are currents, electrical currents that still flowing to the electrical appliances. So which is can explain why our electric bill can be higher than what we have expected. So if we do just this simple thing, which is to unplug our electrical appliances, like Hanum said, it can save our money and it can also save the world from climate change.
Alright, so I think we should get into the main reason, which is not about saving the money. We are actually talking about reducing the climatic change that happens today.
It is a bonus.
It is a bonus.
If you can
So, Amir, what do you have in
Do
mind?
you have anything
I
proposed?
have a new solution.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I am really
beside we to
Give it.
focus to reduce money and like reduce electric consumption. So my point is very related to our focus now, climate change. Mean that our global temperature is
Getting
higher. So I think that a thing that become habit in our community is open burning.
Yes,
So open burning
true.
is a very we must avoid open burning because open burning can release carbon dioxide and other bad gas. So this gas can contribute to the increase of temperature of globally. So people must be aware of this habit by
try to
try to change to recycle
Like what?
the-
Like
One
what
say,
one
3R.
can say, the 3R. Recycle, reuse, and recycle.
Recycle.
Actually, how can the 3R reduce this climatic change one? Can you explain it to me?
I
don't really
want to
understand.
I just wait so Amir done with his speech. What I mean by reuse, reduce, recycle is when we apply reuse, reduce, recycle, we can reduce the use of source of something like the tree,
Okay.
so that when we cut
Cut down the
we reduce the
use.
cutting
Okay.
of the tree, so that there is more tree that will absorb carbon dioxide that has emitted.
So the tree that is safe
Ah,
from the illegal logging.
Yeah. So that when we cut less tree, so that we can save we can what we can
Reduce the carbon
reduce the
dioxide
carbon dioxide. That
content.
is what the thing.
What do the trees do? What do the trees do?
Trees do is trees trap carbon dioxide when the trees undergo photosynthesis.
Oh.
You guys know that's related to our customer.
Okay.
Then I want to explain a bit more
This one
on
is
what
for
I
the-
have just
This is not for the reuse or recycle or reduce.
reduce.
How about reuse?
Reuse is like just we reuse the use of just like plastic
Okay, like plastic. Okay.
We can reuse it. Just like when you use water, then you can use it as your pens. That's what I want to say is you can use it as you can cut the bottle and you can put all your pencils and stationery.
objects.
Then I want to add something about what Ali has said before this is about infrastructure. Maybe we can reduce the use of electricity by remake the more efficient infrastructure, which is it can lead to more efficient lighting. If the lighting is bad, so that we will use more light,
I see.
more lamp, so that the energy consumption for the lamp or light will be getting higher and higher, and
So it's a bad thing.
this is the bad thing. And
What can you do?
we can redesign building with the more efficient style.
So that we can use natural source of lighting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is what I mean.
Okay.
Turn
And
out to me, there is one more thing that I want to talk about the usage of fossil fuels. You can remember that fossil fuel, we burn it, they can actually produce this gas, also the gas that can increase this temperature, the global warming, can also affect this, indirectly affect this climatic change. So we need to reduce the usage of fossil fuels, because one thing, we want to save the minerals inside the earth, in the soil, the earth, for the plants to grow, and which actually can help the plant to grow more and make more photosynthesis, like what
I have to say.
what one has said. And another one thing is that the industry itself, they have to, even though they want to make products that is usable for people, but they have to think about the consequences, that they need to use other options other than this fossil fuel, because these fossil fuels can, like I said, it can lead to global warming, because when they process these fossil fuels to become a product, it actually requires heating, and it's really not good to me. I think that is what my opinion about the fossil fuels. So anyone else?
Hanum?
I would like to add, I'm sorry to take your time, but at your point, which was cutting the trees. So we actually need to cut trees or deforestation because of blooming of population. We need to do houses. If not, then where do all people's going to live? But we need to improve our agriculture practice. We need to balance this.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to balance the amount of cut trees and the new trees.
And then we plant the new tree.
Yeah, so that they will quickly eliminate the emission. Okay, so that's more proper way to save.
When Hanum mentioned about population, I also want to add another
About
point
population.
about the population, because I have read at the article, I have read an article that said one of the ways to reduce the population is to have a birth control.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the one-child policy, which has been implemented in China? They are controlling the birth rates because they thought that if we can reduce the population, we can reduce the greenhouse gases emission, we can reduce the electrical energy consumption, which can lead to the solution of the climate change.
Yes, right. There's something about the building that you have said just now. I want to add about the what Hanum is saying about the agriculture. So one of the agriculture that we have known today is that the horticulture. You know, horticulture, that we can use ornamentals. We can actually
Hang the tree, right?
yeah, hang the trees or put your cactus or in your room on the balcony of your house, or we can do that at the building. So the building will look more greenery and there's more chlorophyll, so you can do article photosynthesis and use all this absorb all this carbon dioxide and make it a glucose, and this glucose can be used for us. So there is a bonus also, other than we even though it's not really beautiful, but we can, it's horticulture, so make it beautiful. It's an ornamental, so you can make it beautiful. It's we're humans, we need to be creative about this. So that is what I'm going to add on the combination of you guys with your point.
So thank you, Fakhree. So now let's go through the points that we have agreed on. So just now Syazwan has said about have pointed out about deforestation.
Yes, deforestation.
To reduce deforestations. And also Fakhree said about fossil fuels,
Reduce fossil
reduce the
fuels.
using of fossil fuel, and Ali has also said about one infrastructure and also one child policy. And Hanum said about hand to dry, which is reduce electric consumption, and also
Yes.
about agriculture
Yes.
practice. So all of these is the solutions or way to solve climate change. So this positive solution is very important to make our future become more
Better.
better and
For the future generation.
So now let's
Call it a wrap.
Call it a wrap.
Before we call it a wrap, also we need to remember that even though our points are all positive, but also there are pros and cons about it. So now we can conclude. Do you have anything to say, Ali?
Okay, for the conclusion, I think that the conclusion for our discussion is there are many ways to solve climate change, and it is not too late if we start now. Yeah, I think. Is it okay? Is it
For
okay?
future generation.
Yeah, for the future
For our
generation.
babies.
I think that we better
Okay.
we better act than we just talking.
Yes. Okay.
Act before it's too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Thank you,
okay. Thank you.
everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you for a good
Good discussion.
discussion.
Yeah.